Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man, got him hot, ayy. Man, can't ball like this, man, Lord. Past the pig skin, when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ayy, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no fives and no singles, don't count on them. Ayy, she want it like me, cause her lame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex.
Cars in my front yard, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts, whole team counting, that's a big number.
Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Check, 55 to Mike. It's a party now. It's a party now.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 20! And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Here's Dixon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Let's get it. 2 times.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the third time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses. And excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Watch the eyes. 89. Alert. Check 59.
Now it's Watson. Flushed out right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a guy coming off a strong rookie season, Gus Edwards. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 20. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The tight end set the valve, the intended receiver. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Slides to avoid the hit. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and that'll bring up second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And they'll get him down right around the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. From the gun, Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
A 47-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Coming to you, coming to you. Number 9, check. Whip. Over. And no time now.
On first down, Watson escaping the pressure right. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Give me some. Here we go. Mark 59. 59. Let him go.
From the 50, it's Watson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Here's Watson. Complete to his tight end, Seth the Valve. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. On the left side, this is Stills. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step.
But also, when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move.
Just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Watson being chased out left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
On 3rd down, Grant. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
No one attempted or made more field goals in Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Right there. All day, baby.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, Stayed in great communication.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Check 59, Mike.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Check. Cross.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set. UAT. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Hey, look, 40 and 55. 48 right now. What's set?
Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He dumps it down to Ingram.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field.
That's caught inside the 20. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this 1st half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Jackson will throw again. This one complete to Ingram. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's 3rd down.
A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Again, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews as the 1st half is winding down as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6.
Check 59.
Back to throw, Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
To throw again on second down. Watson, and an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. This is Grant. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain there of 21 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Check 24. Check 24. Check. Check out.
They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
At the 7-yard line.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal.
Got you, boy. I got you, boy. Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. 6 man. Check cross, check cross. Mike, check. 59 is up.
To throw is Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
59, Mike, 59. Hey, 59! Pick up the ball.
Out of the gun, Watson. His pass caught at the 4. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. Fourth and goal.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down.
Mike 54. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Here's Watson on the sneak, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson, his 19th touchdown now on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Returnable for Grant. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. Now on second and 16, Watson to the right side, complete to Miller. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here we go. 48's the mic. Here we go. Hey, alert 48. Alert. 48 right now. Let's go.
Third and long. It's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on first down. Ingram bulldozes past him. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Throwing on second and 14. Jackson, and incomplete.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. Throwing is Jackson. And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
Well, and a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Watson now to throw. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th.
Check, 59. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Fuller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Set. 19. 59. 54. I'll catch. Check 59. 59. Mike to 59.
Watson on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
And the Texans. Set. 59. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
From the red zone now, Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins once again the intended target. And it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
54.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did, you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
Here's Ingram. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the gun, it's Jackson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Watson. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. On first down, Grant. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now it's Edwards. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a third down.
Set, 19. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Blue to the point down. He's coming. Mike, check, 59, 59. Hey, check. Mike.
Watson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. The tight end set to DeValve, the intended receiver. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays. There goes Mark Ingram, the 20. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big effort that time out of Ingram, 68 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. And they'll indeed take a knee. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Ravens, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up.